We spun around, went off the road, hit a ditch, flipped, went up 9 feet, and wrapped around the only tree at over 70 miles per hour.
Coming up next on WBHS 9 News, a woman uses her near-fatal experience to teach young drivers about the dangers of speeding.
1 week we are wearing face masks in class, the next we aren't. What a new variant means for a mask mandate.
And get into the Christmas spirit. We'll take you through one of the largest light displays in Middle Tennessee. Your news starts now.
From the studios at Brentwood High School, you're watching the award-winning WBHS 9 News with Nathan Zonarich, Chad Barker, reporters Raya Abulrab, Justice Butler, and Asher Posey. WBHS 9 News starts now.
Hello Brentwood High School, I'm Nathan Zonarich.
And I'm Chad Barker. Welcome to a special holiday edition of WBHS 9 News.
It's a story every teenage driver should hear. A Williamson County woman lost her boyfriend and almost died herself after a horrific crash. As Noah True reports, she now shares her story with young drivers in both the classroom and the courtroom.
Thanks, Nathan. I'm here on Holt Road, near the Brentwood city limit. This tree here marks the spot where a young man died and his girlfriend's life was changed forever.
We spun around, went off the road, hit a ditch, flipped, went up 9 feet, and wrapped around the only tree at over 70 miles per hour. It took the excavation team 58 minutes to remove me from the car. The floorboard and the dashboard were wrapped around my legs and they were pinned up against the tree. And by the time the paramedics and the excavation team got there, I had already lost over half my blood. And my left leg was hanging on by one ligament. And by the time I got to Vanderbilt, they had already placed the orders to amputate both legs and had given me a less than 15% chance to live. I ended up breaking both tibia and fibula in both legs, both femurs, strongest bones in your body, my pelvic bone in 2 places, 3 fingers on my right hand, and the C2 vertebrae in my neck completely, which is also known as the hangman's fracture, and that injury alone should have killed me instantly. I have had now 24 surgeries to rebuild my legs. I have rods and plates and screws and anchors in both legs, and both legs are completely skin grafted.
By sharing your story, Brittany Leadham hopes to prevent accidents like this from happening in the future. Noah True, WBHS 9 News.
To mask or not to mask? After going back and forth several times, face masks are currently not required in Williamson County schools. The mask mandate was lifted last month due to the low number of COVID cases in the county. Even though there's no mandate, many students are still wearing them in class and in the hallways as a precaution. Of course, with the new Omicron variant, face masks could come back after winter break.
You think you're tired of COVID? Try talking with Shona Anderson, working for the Centers for Disease Control. She's on the front lines fighting the virus. WBHS 9's Keaton Hardwick sat down with Anderson to talk about the spread of COVID-19.
Ever since the outbreak of COVID-19, many have been rising to the occasion of fighting the spread. Shona Anderson, an official CDC member, is one of those few. The social impact that the virus has caused will be unforgettable, and we're thankful for those who have helped bring an end to COVID-19. Keaton Hardwick, WBHS 9.
Longer lines, shorter menus, fewer workers. Welcome to the new normal of COVID. Channel 9's Harper Thompson is outside Einstein Bros Bagels in Cool Springs with a look at how the businesses are dealing with the employee shortage.
Since the beginning of COVID in early 2020, worker shortage rates have spiked. Brentwood has not been immune, and you'll find now hiring signs like these on many businesses in town.
We've been hiring for the past 2 months now. A lot of people have came, but I don't think some have been working because of the times that's required, and also I think the rate isn't enough for them, and just problems like that.
Companies are starting to have an easier time hiring in the latter part of 2021, and at just over 2%, Williamson County has one of the lowest unemployment rates in Tennessee. Harper Thompson, WBHS 9 News.
In other news, a big surprise for some BHS science students. Physical science teacher Doug Murray returned from Thanksgiving break to find his classroom floor covered in bricks. Seems an old wall gave way and took out several ceiling tiles. No one was at the school at the time. Structural engineers are checking to make sure it won't happen again.
Construction at Brentwood High is over for now. After a year of work, the new front entrance was completed this semester. The project cost almost $5 million. In addition to the new entrance, offices were added for administrators and staff. With the BPAC and STEM building, there's been construction going on at BHS for the past 5 years. There are no plans for any more construction in the near future, but neighboring Brentwood Middle School is scheduled to be replaced by 2025.
Still to come, Brentwood gets into the Christmas spirit.
But first, a local church that truly gives back to the community.
And later, one of the coolest apartment Christmas lights displays you'll ever see. You're watching WBHS 9 News. Let's catch up with what's happening on the mat, court, and ice. The ice hockey team finished the regular season on top. They were undefeated all regular season with a record of 12-0-2. They are headed into the playoffs as the number 1 seed. The girls basketball team has a current record of 10-5. They are currently on a 2-game winning streak after beating Nolensville 51-32 and Centennial 61-46. The boys basketball team currently holds the number 2 seed in their division with a 6-3 record. Brentwood is looking to bounce back in their game at Summit tonight after losing Centennial last night 44-41. Their game tonight is at 7:30. The wrestling season is in full swing. They are doing really well this season and are looking to make a good run for state. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nathan Zonarich.
And I'm Chad Barker. We leave you with video from the Windchase Apartments in Cool Springs. Former WBHS 9 intern Dakota Payne spent about a month designing and programming this light show set to the Polar Express. He says it's a part of an apartment complex competition to design the best looking porch. It'll be hard to top that.
And on that note, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.